And here with Ross Smith and me this week on Timbers in 30 is goalkeeper Jeff Attinella. Made your Timbers debut a couple weeks ago, making your Timbers in 30 debut tonight. Welcome to the show.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
We're going to get in-depth into the San Jose match, but let's first kind of introduce you and get to know you a little bit. 5 months in Portland. What have you liked so far about your time here?
Yeah, I mean, it's been great. The last couple of days especially with the sun shining, but you know, it's been awesome getting to know a new community and just kind of seeing what a different city is like, and I've really enjoyed it so far.
You're used to the sun, you're from the East Coast, from Florida. What have you made the biggest difference between the East Coast and the West Coast?
Oh man, it's just so laid back out here. I love it. You know, it's a more relaxed attitude and everyone's a little bit calmer and a little bit nicer, so that part's been good.
You made your debut and saved a penalty kick on your debut, and then it was tapped right in. And to me, it seems like there's so few occasions in sports like that where it's like the immediate high of, oh, I saved this, and then to see the ball go into the back of the net. What's it like for a goalkeeper to have to deal with something like that?
Yeah, I mean, that moment was a little frustrating. As he was kicking it, I was thinking, oh, I have it. You know, great save, this is going to be awesome. And then the ball ended up in the back of the net 2 seconds later. So you know, just a wide range of emotions, but we were still winning the game, and obviously we ended up winning it, so would have loved the shutout, but it was great that we ended up winning anyway, so that worked out well.
I chatted to you earlier this week and I asked you how you felt in that match, and you said, you know, after the match, I fully felt a part of the team to finally get that match and be on there for game day. What did that mean to fully feel a part of the team?
Yeah, you know, anytime you're new to a team or you're new to a locker room, you always kind of want to prove yourself to your teammates. You know, you're there for a reason, but at the same time, it's, you know, stepping on the field of battle with the guys that you're sharing the locker room with and getting that first opportunity to really put your foot out there and feel like you're fully embraced by the team in the locker room. And, you know, so to get that under your belt and have it go the way it did was awesome. It was just a great feeling.
Nice to have the support from the Timbers Army. Conversely, the other time when you came in, you said the fans would shout, "Dodgy keeper."
Yeah.
Nice to have that support this time around?
Yeah, I mean, my first time I played here as an away goalie, it was something serious, you know. They were yelling at me pretty strong and trying to do their best to get in my head. So to be on the other side of that and, you know, have their support and kind of supporting me with all that crowd noise behind me was a much better feeling.
A lot of time in RSL and now coming to Portland via Minnesota in a way. Portland and RSL obviously had a bit of a rivalry over the past 4 or 5 years when you were there. What's it like to switch teams? This is now really your second MLS team.
Yeah, you know, it's been great. You know, I've loved the move. It's been an awesome transition, and you know, even though I'm from RSL, there's been some guys before me that have made the similar journey. So I remember telling a few of them that hopefully I could follow in their footsteps because they seem to do pretty well with the trek from Salt Lake over to Portland. But it's been great. You know, it's fun to be on a different team and, you know, to be on the other side of that little rivalry. I definitely look forward to when we play them. But, you know, it's all in on the Timbers right now, and, you know, it's focused on the task at hand, and obviously that's this weekend. It's
not a Cascadia rivalry, but there's also a little bit of one between the Timbers and the San Jose Earthquakes. Let's turn our attention now to Saturday's match. These are the Western Conference standings heading into the weekend. Kansas City won on Wednesday, so for the first time this season, the Timbers are not atop the table in the West. They're in second with 17 points. That's 5 more than San Jose, who have evenly spread the results love this season. 3 wins, 3 draws, 3 losses. The Timbers on the Earthquakes is our Advocare Training Report.
Good team. I've never played a Dom Kinnear team that was easy. Never been in a game versus his team that was easy. He always gets his team ready and prepared and up for it. I think it'll be a difficult game, extremely difficult game. They're tough to beat at home, and you know, people talk about they've dropped some points at home. Well, they haven't lost at home either, and they've made some really good additions this offseason with some pieces that I think have helped complement some of their other, you know, really good pieces up the spine, like Wando and you know, Godoy and Seren. So I think it's going to be a difficult game, really difficult game.
I'm enjoying this. The league is very competitive. It is something that you go to any place, any field, any pitch in the league, and you know that you're going to have a very difficult game. So I'm very happy about that too, the competitiveness of the league. And traveling is just one of those things that help you get to know other places, and I'm enjoying that because, you know, once you retire, you're going to miss that. So I'm just having a blast right now.
I think you have to be disciplined, but Yeah, I think for me, what it comes down to is your mindset. You know, sometimes I know playing on the road is always tough, especially like when you travel across country. But once you have that mindset, you know that regardless where you're playing, you know, at the end of the day, it all comes down to points. You know, you just gotta grab points on the road just as good as home. If you want to be a top team in this league, you know, it's important to win on the road.
Ross, local forward source, look ahead on the San Jose Earthquakes.
Well, we heard Caleb Porter say it a few times. It's going to be a difficult game. And the reason why is this is a committed bunch. They're hard-working, and two players that exemplify this spirit, Victor Bernardes and new signing Florian Jungwirth. That will be the likely center-back partnership. They're two no-nonsense defenders without great speed, but they've got a good read of the game, and you look at that back line where they're nice and solid, and then when you start to move up from there, Anibal Godoy, for me, on his day, this is one of the best center midfielders in the league. The first two games of the season, he scored 2 wonder goals. From there, he's perhaps dipped a little bit, but he's one you always have to be aware of. He can boss the midfield on his day, and finally, everybody knows about this man. Wondolowski has a nose for goal, knows when to pop up. He's the type of striker who can go missing and then all of a sudden show up in key moments. There's a reason why he has scored 124 regular season goals. So going into Avaya Stadium, FC Dallas last week, that's a tough place to go and get a result. But does it give you confidence knowing that you can go to a place like FC Dallas, get a result when you turn around and go to places like Avaya Stadium?
Yeah, I think that anytime you can get a result on the road, prior success on the road is kind of an indicator of what you can do on the next one. And, you know, we're in a little bit of a stretch where we have a lot of road games, so to kind of kick that off with a positive result, we would have loved 3 points, but to get a result like that in Dallas is something that we can build on, and looking into this weekend, something that we could use going forward.
Well, the Timbers have been the most prolific goal-scoring team in the league this season. Most goals, 20. Best goal differential, +8. Sebastian Blanco's goal against Dallas made him the 10th different Timber to score this season. The Timbers have the most goal scorers in the league. Those 10 different guys who've scored goals, that's more than San Jose has total goals. They only have 9. Jeff, diversity in the attack for a team, how dangerous does it make it that you guys have so many players who can score?
Yeah, I mean, it's a big deal. It's huge because you never know who to prepare for, because if you prepare for Adi, then Valeria can sneak up on you and score a brace. Same with all these other guys. You know, we have so many offensive attacking players that are able to put the ball in the net. So who do you prepare for? You know, I'm glad I'm not on the side of having to prepare for this team because it's tough. You know, you got so many different weapons.
You're on the side of defending the goal and preventing the goals from the other team. Liam Ridgewell, after the game against FC Dallas, said that one save from Jeff Attinella was for the cameras, suggesting that you made it look a lot more difficult than what it was. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, he likes to give guys a hard time, and I think, you know, I might have bailed him out a little bit, so maybe he's you know, giving me a little jab, but no, I'm just kidding. He's obviously a great leader, and you know, he likes to have a good time. So.
Well, San Jose has a guy that Jeff and the Timbers need to prepare for, and he can score goals. Chris Wondolowski, Ross mentioned him. Not only 4th most goals all time in MLS, but the 2nd most of any player against the Timbers. 8 goals in 12 matches against Portland. At 34 years old, he's still productive. He has 2 goals and he has 4 assists this year. Jeff, you haven't faced him in MLS play. The one time you played San Jose, Chris Wondolowski didn't play for them, but he's a guy that's so well known around the league. What do you have to look out for? What do you have to prepare for when going up against Wando?
I mean, I think the important thing is you just always have to know where he is, because he can pop up at anywhere. And, you know, you see him scoring goals out of nowhere, and it's like, oh, Chris Wondolowski scored again. Not surprising, you know. And for a player at his age that's still doing it in this league, that obviously means he's still really capable. So just always having the defenders clued in to where he's at, and especially the way that they cross the ball, that he's able to get heads on it. So just always knowing where he is at all times.
The Timbers and the San Jose Earthquakes. It's a 7:30 start on Saturday night. You can watch the match on KPDX. Ross and I will have the call. You can also listen on the radio, 102.9, 750 The Game.